guy's the guinea pig for some of the world's most painful weapons.
All right, let her rip.
Turning his body into a living test chamber. He's more than a man. He has turned himself into a machine. A living cyborg that might turn our future inside out.
I think we're obsolescent. We're on our way out.
This barber's a cut above the rest, with a hair-raising new idea for his customers. And the daredevil who isn't afraid to play with fire. In fact, he's about to fan the flames with an explosive walk through a man-made inferno.
Nice knowing you.
Unbelievable? Believe it. On Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Just imagine the kind of garage sale that you could have if your garage was the Ripley warehouse. 22,000 one-of-a-kind items. You've got your medieval torture cage, shrunken heads available in several sizes, this little jewel of a bowl, but more on this later. Now, these things are only a small part of what goes on here, because every single day, new oddities are being discovered, and their stories might even make this guy flip his lid. Take a look.
I'm nervous about this. I could get around this right now. I'm having second thoughts.
These things are not pretty. I don't want to give you the misunderstanding. Non-lethal and painless are not synonymous.
Fighting crime has become a deadly proposition on the streets of America. One police officer dies every day in the line of duty, usually because the suspect could not be subdued. But a new generation of non-lethal weapons have been developed to help cops put suspects down fast. But there's one catch. How do they know these weapons will work? That's where Tom Penny comes in.
If I can help prove out some of these other options to provide a different continuum of force so that they don't have to go in with only lethal options, then it's a worthwhile thing to do.
Tom consistently puts his body where his mouth is. He actually volunteers to be a live test subject so the companies can find out just how effective their weapons really are. Tom, who works in computers, is a genuine pacifist who wants police to start using crime tools that will subdue suspects, not kill them.
I know that I'm more capable of taking punishment of this kind than most people. If they're going to hurt anybody, let's go after me first. If they hurt me, they'll certainly not usable for other people.
We accompanied Tom one night as he made his testing rounds. We observed firsthand the future of law enforcement and one man's private war against crime. Round one. It is called the Attitude Adjuster. Created to prevent riots from escalating into violence, this weapon emits an odor so disgusting that it can disperse a gang in a matter of seconds. But how disgusting does disgusting need to be? Well, Tom was just about to find out.
No one has ever been hit with a direct shot from the attitude adjuster from this delivery system. I'll be the first one to be hit by this.
A few rounds to Tom's back shows just how quickly attitudes can be adjusted.
Oh, God. Oh, this is awful. I really want to take this shirt off a lot. I can't stand this any longer. Oh, God.
Tom's artificial body odor makes him immediately unpopular.
Oh, man, this is miserable. Just a minute. I'm trying not to throw up.
Round two, the Sticky Shocker.
The Sticky Shocker is going to be a very interesting experience. Don't think it's going to hurt, but I also don't think it's going to be pleasant either.
A wireless stun gun that delivers 12 to 15 10-amp electrical pulses per second. It can be fired at a suspect up to 35 feet away.
Well, today we're not going to fire it. Today we're just going to put it on him and let it sit down.
In order to dial in the right amount of incapacitating voltage, at first the settings are low. Well, low may not be quite the right word.
Knocked me right flat back, but it was a funny pressure. That one hit pretty hard in the middle, sat me right back down.
Now it's time for Tom to receive a full dose.
I'm ready. Do it.
With his body completely traumatized, Tom is totally incapacitated.
That was fairly strong. And I am distinctly glad that it's turned off.
And now, the final round. Tom will face a firing squad of crippling pepper bullets. Invented to subdue suspects, inmates, and disorderly individuals, these mini slugs will explode on impact, thrusting a disabling mix of pepper and tear gas into Tom's eyes, nose, and throat.
Let's do it.
After being shot with the pepper pellets, it takes Tom almost 3 minutes before he's even capable of speaking.
It's hard to talk. It hurt. I can't breathe. Eyes are burned. I ain't giving anybody any problems right now. I am done for the day.
Tom's human sacrifice will give police confidence that they can trust their new weapons. Even after being shot at and zapped, this human guinea pig will continue to act as a test dummy for the weapons of the future.
Can I go home now?
What's your idea of the perfect vacation? The Eiffel Tower at sunset, or a deserted beach in the Caribbean? How about hanging off the back of a small boat and tickling the nose of an angry great white shark?
It is the world's most feared predator. The ultimate killing machine that will eat anything or anyone. But here off the coast of South Africa, where as many as 2,000 of these man-eaters patrol the waters, visitors are lining up to risk life and limb for the chance to go face-to-face with a great white. They call it Shark Alley, a narrow channel between two islands literally crawling with seals. To a great white, a succulent seal is an irresistible lure. Now, all these sharks are proving to be a magnet of their own for scientists, fishermen, even couples on their honeymoons.
I was choosing the place. We had to go to South Africa. And the first thing Martin said was, "Wow, I've heard you can dive with sharks down there." I was like, wow, on your honeymoon, maybe. Not a good way to lose your husband.
In this case, the bars of a steel cage may keep the sharks out, but tourists inside still feel the full fury of the great white as it savagely rips into the bait.
How is that? Very exciting. It got pretty close sometimes.
But for those tourists who want to get even closer to the jaws of a shark, you can take a ride with a couple of shark ticklers. Two local fishermen, Andre Hartman and Jean-Pierre Bota, have cashed in on this shark mania. Not long ago, they tried to scare a shark from their fishing net by reaching out to slap it away. Much to their surprise, the great white lifted its nose right out of the water, giving the amazed fishermen the shock of their lives. Instead of seeing red, Andre and Jean-Pierre saw green, as in dollar signs. They now charge tourists big bucks to accompany them on their shark tickling expeditions.
Well, I just slowly drag him closer with the bait, or sometimes I just lean over the side, over the top of the platform, and they see me and they come right up to me.
There is some risk involved in touching these white sharks, and I wouldn't recommend anybody doing it unless you know the animal.
It's a cheap thrill that could send ticket holders right over the edge. Dr. Richard Laundreville is already going overboard on the cutting edge of science. He's out here to study the ferocious creatures, and first he'll need to draw a little blood. He's discovered a connection between weight loss and the hormone found in sharks. so he's come to Shark Alley to get a blood sample from this dangerous beast. The only problem is getting a 5,000-pound great white to sit still.
It's not something you're going to bring up on your boat and roll over and rub their belly and take a blood sample. They are big, nasty fish.
Dr. Laundreville uses a crude yet specialized tool to remove the shark's blood. His crew throws out the bait, and within minutes, the first shark appears. The doctor lies on a diver's platform as an assistant lures the shark close enough for him to insert the syringe.
That's a pretty shark.
The great jaws pass within inches of Dr. Laundreville's outstretched hand. He thrusts the syringe down, but the shark wins round one, bending the needle in half as it swims away. As the great white circles back, Dr. Laundreville lowers his hand even closer, inserting the syringe as quickly as he can. Although he's retrieved only a few drops of blood, it's enough for now.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah.
Hey, man.
And more importantly, he'll be able to return home from Shark Alley with all his fingers intact.
This is the holy grail of fish, the great white shark.
There's an explosive situation at Ripley's. They call this young man Pyro Boy, and you're about to find out why. But Pyro Boy isn't stopping there. The same dangerous explosives used to destroy that melon are now being strapped to his body. Then he'll walk through rings of fire. Can Pyro Boy pull it off? That's coming up. Plus, a computer chip in his arm is opening the door to cyborgs in the future. And a bikini sewn out of thread from your head. Coming up on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
It may have all started with the artificial heart, or maybe even the contact lens, the fusion of man and machine. Today we don't think much of it, but maybe we should, because medicine and computer science are on a collision course, and the future is here.
Hello. Hello.
Cyborg, part man, part machine, a hybrid organism known as proto machines.
Thanks to computers that can act as extensions of the brain, androids can carry out everyday human functions as soon as the mind thinks about them. Which raises the question, at what point does a person stop being human and start being a machine?
Hello, Professor Warwick.
Perhaps we should ask this man, Professor Kevin Warwick, a cybernetics expert who, believe it or not, is the first human to put himself at the command of a computer.
Last year I had a silicon chip transponder surgically implanted in my left arm.
The 20-minute operation gave Professor Warwick a glimpse into the future. A future he had only once speculated about.
I did that because it was about time that we looked at what was possible, but what was potential as far as linking humans with silicon.
With this expedition into the still unknown world of cyborgs, Warwick began to blur the line between science fiction and reality.
Starting to create superhumans effectively by linking up technology with the human, having an implant to make a normal guy, me, little bit a cyborg.
Immediately, the computers in the building at the college where Warwick works began to track Warwick's every move. When the computer sensed Warwick coming, it jumped into action. Doors opened automatically. His personal computer switched on and began to download the professor's email before he even sat down at his desk. Lights went on. The office was suddenly providing 5-star service.
When the computer was actually switching on lights and opening doors for me, I surprisingly felt quite close to it.
The experiment's success gave Warwick an idea. Why not link up two humans via computer?
That's something I really feel is possible in the next 20 or so years. I think we can achieve it. It will completely change what it means to be human. It will completely change how we communicate with each other. And I feel it's just there. We're nearly there.
In fact, he's recruited someone very close to his heart for the experiment.
My wife has agreed to undergo a similar operation. So what we're looking to do is to have the two of us with an implant, sending signals not just from nervous system to computer, but potentially across the internet, so that we can send signals from one person's nervous system, my own, across the internet to my wife's nervous system, and back the other way.
This way, humans will be able to transmit emotions as well as tap into the computer's enormous powers.
By about 2020, we're going to see machines that are much more intelligent than humans. If they're much more intelligent than us, then it's going to be them that are deciding how things work on the Earth.
That's because instead of letting you in, downloading email, and turning on the lights, computers could decide to lock you out, destroy all your files, and shut down the power.
Really how we treat animals that are less intelligent than we are now. So machines that are far more intelligent than us will probably treat us in the same way.
According to Warwick, this could lead to a conflict that will ultimately result in the end of human beings as we now know them.
My own view, from a human point of view, is probably quite a pessimistic one, because I think we're going to be left with a battle between intelligent machines and cyborgs. The humans come into the cyborgs to an extent, but humans just in their own right, I think we're obsolescent, we're on our way out, we will be surpassed by evolutionary superiors. I can't see any other event happening.
Now you're about to meet someone who takes the concept of a one-man band about as far as you can go. See for yourself.
Ken Butler has built over 300 different instruments, but you won't find any of them in your neighborhood music store. Ken takes things other people think of as junk and transforms them into sculpture. The result is music to his ears. When Ken was growing up, he always saw himself as an artist more than a musician. Then, almost 20 years ago, he saw a way to merge the two talents. He started by creating musical instruments out of an odd assortment of objects. One of his first designs was this one-of-a-kind briefcase.
When I actually put the strings on it and strung it up and put the microphones on it, a certain sound would result. And if the sound was great, then I would use it as an instrument that I would perhaps perform on. If it didn't sound great, then it's just a piece of sculpture.
Ken finds the parts he needs everywhere from garbage cans to garage sales. He also haunts music stores, searching for damaged instruments or cheap parts.
Yeah, as always, I'm just looking to see if you got any broken junk or anything like that here.
What, like bodies or necks or?
Mostly necks. I'm always looking for necks. You got any?
Yeah, actually there's one right there. Oh yeah. I'm gonna check that out. That's great. It's awesome. I wish there were more people doing stuff like this around. I mean, it's cool, you know, creating form and function together.
He's made a sitar from a record player, a violin from a tennis racket, and a guitar made from a shovel. He can get a tone from just about anything and turn himself into a one-man symphony. Ken pays his bills by performing and by selling sculptures like this. He calls it an urban piano. It's part keyboard, part radio. Believe it or not, Ken's also built a double-axe cello, the hockey golf, and the brush axe. But those are simple compared to pieces like this.
Well, this is one of my favorite ones. So there's an aluminum cane and an aluminum tennis racket, and then there's part of a vegetable slicer and part of the inside of a little toy gun, part of a comb, 2 strings here. This could be plucked or bowed.
Ken often closes his shows by playing the simplest instrument of all, his head.
So if you clamp on the microphone then and bite on it a little bit, you will be able to hear the resonance in your actual skull. So here's how that might work.
While Ken's instruments may be off the wall, his approach to music is not.
So when I play, I try to just make it as musical and as spiritual and as emotional and as dramatic and, you know, as serious as possible, because I'm playing a toothbrush or an umbrella, but I'm trying to really play it. I'm not spoofing a Led Zeppelin tune or something. I'm really trying to play from the, you know, deep in my heart and soul.
Still ahead, he's strapped down with explosives. The crowd's fired up. Can this walking powder keg pass through rings of fire without blowing himself to bits? We're back in a flash. Also, his brain was damaged at birth. But you can't count the number of things he can do with it now.
All the time, it amazes me.
And you won't believe what this barber's doing with his customers' hair.
I have found wonderful uses for it.
We get the long and short of it on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
You ever wonder why old-fashioned barber poles look like candy canes with red swirling around the white? Well, back in medieval times, you didn't just get your hair cut at the barber shop. Now, that's where you went for a good bloodletting. That's right. Getting a vein punctured and draining some blood was considered the cure for just about everything. Hence the red on the barber pole. Now, how does this relate to our next story? Well, it's also about a barber shop that leads two lives. But it's very different.
The man who made this one-of-a-kind bikini has top fashion designers pulling their hair out, because that's exactly what it's made of.
I don't see just heads of hair. I see crops like cotton balls and wheat fields, and I can visualize various products made out of hair. How would it look as a dress? How would it look as a scarf? How would it look as a collar? Wow, I wish I had that hair.
At first glance, Bill Black seems like your typical neighborhood barber. But take a closer look and you'll find a bizarre little workshop down in his basement.
This is where it all begins. When the hair is swept from the floor through the trapdoor, it goes into here. And we have trash of hair, which normally would be thrown away. But I have found wonderful uses for it.
Like turning it into fertilizer. Or even a teddy bear.
He's my buddy. Good boy.
When he decided to branch into fashion design,
wow,
Barber Bill turned to Jean Steck, who was willing to run her fingers through a lot of hair before spinning it into clothing.
To make anything spin, all you have to do is start a twisting process. And once it begins to spin, it's just like spinning your hair. It took all day, so you can imagine to make cloth, to make 3 yards of cloth, how much that took. And that's probably the equivalent of 100 people's haircuts. So that's a lot of hair. That's a whole lot of hair. This is the blondes, and this is the light brunettes, and this is the darker brunettes. We took all the people as they came in to cut their hair, and we divided them into hair colors.
Some of Bill's clients have even added their names to the waiting list for a custom-tailored product.
If Bill cut my hair, I'd like to have him make a suit out of it.
I think I would like to have a sport coat made out of hair.
I would rather it be made into a pair of socks. That way I would know that my feet would stay warm.
From this unique fabric, Barber Bill is beginning to weave a mini fashion empire. He's even managed to interest buyers for women's retail clothing stores.
I wouldn't have known it was hair. I thought it was wool, some type of wool. I didn't even think it was hair until you said something. It doesn't even look like hair at all.
And to think all this started with one simple product.
Without recycled hair, Barber Bill would be bare. Here's to you. I gotta cut and run.
The movie Rain Man won an Oscar for Dustin Hoffman, playing the role of a man with a special gift. In the case of Rain Man, art imitated life because the character Hoffman portrayed was partially inspired by a very real person. His name is Kim Peek.
Kim Peek remembers everything he's ever read, not because he chooses to, but because his brain won't let him forget.
Kim's major talent is really his memory. He has a very deep and very accurate memory.
In the year 1992, what was April 4th?
Saturday.
January 25th.
Saturday, all together.
August 25th.
Tuesday.
June 9th.
Tuesday. He can do it, he can do it, he can do it!
Kim was only 16 months old when he memorized his first book. Today, at the age of 48, he has read and can recall every word of more than 8,000 books.
So I can scan it really fast, you can tell how my brain works.
Kim is a savant, someone who's mentally handicapped, yet at the same time possesses a spectacular wealth of knowledge. When Kim was first born, his father didn't realize his infant son was different from other babies. Doctors said Kim had no mental capacity and would never be able to walk. Even more shocking, they recommended he be put into an institution. But the most shocking advice came a few years later.
He was recommended for a lobotomy by the health department. And at that time, they said he's not able to learn and he won't be able to walk. And we wouldn't believe that. He was able to learn. He'd already memorized most of the books of knowledge, and he could add, subtract, multiply, divide, write, print, and cursive.
In fact, his story is so unbelievable, it was the inspiration for the Oscar-winning film Rain Man. Kim's character was played by Dustin Hoffman.
461-0192.
How did you know my phone number?
How'd you know that?
You said read the telephone book last night. Tibbs Sally. 461-0192.
But unlike the film, in which Tom Cruise, as Dustin Hoffman's brother, looks after him, in real life, Kim is taken care of by his devoted father, Fran Peek.
I have never seen a closeness like they have, and it is so genuine that I pray constantly that God will not take one away from the other.
Each day, his father patiently helps his son shave, shower, brush his hair, and get dressed.
This is gonna be a long 6 hours, and I know that.
He can get his clothes on, except most of the time you have to turn his shirt around.
Got it.
Kim's social skills have blossomed since Rain Man was made. Dustin Hoffman spent hours shadowing Kim, then made a suggestion that changed the lives of Fran and Kim Peek forever.
Dustin walked up to him and touched noses with him, and then said, "I may be the star, but you're the heavens." And then Dustin walked, with tears in his eyes, he walked over with me and said about taking him out in the world, because he thought he had a lot to offer everybody, and he'd grow, and he sure has.
The two men travel around the country, educating audiences about autism. His father explains his son's phenomenal memory this way.
You and I have a left brain and a right brain, and it's separated like two grapefruit pushed together. Kim's brain, no left brain and right brain, one brain. He has no separation in between them, and it's 1/3 larger than yours and my brain together. So he has no filtering in it, so everything that goes into his brain, he has to save it.
To get an idea of just how quickly Kim can answer virtually any trivia question, Ripley's joined him at a special presentation held at the University of Southern California. The crowd came to stump the real Rain Man. Let's see how well they do.
Can you name the past 10 presidents and who they beat?
Roosevelt, Hoover, Landon, Wilkie, Dewey. Truman, Dewey, you Chicago liars. Eisenhower, Stevenson, Kennedy, Nixon, Johnson, Goldwater, Nixon, Humphrey, Wallace, Nixon, Nixon McGovern, Carter Ford, Reagan Carter, Reagan Mondale, Bush, Dukakis, Clinton, Clinton Bush, Clinton Dole.
Could you tell me when Johann Sebastian Bach was born and when he died?
March 21st, 1685.
Then Kim delivers a knockout.
Can you tell me about all of Muhammad Ali's fights?
I'll do you the initial championship. Liston, KO 7. Liston, KO 1. Patterson, KO 11. Chavallo, 15. Cooper, KO 3. London, KO 6. Mildenberger, KO 12. Williams, KO 6. Terrell, 15. Foley, KO 4. I know them all. Those initial ones, you know?
Kim shares more than just his many answers with the crowd. He also shares his humor.
I'm from a town called Stigler. Can you tell me anything about Stigler?
Where's that close to in Oklahoma?
Kim Peek loves the crowd's approval and apparently, like many performers, loves to show off. But there is a side to Kim that only those privileged enough to really know him can see.
We had a birthday dinner for him. Anything important, Kim, on your 45th birthday? He says, yes. He says, I'm 3 times older than they ever said I would be. I'm glad to be here.
Still ahead. The daredevil about to fan the flames with an explosive walk through a man-made inferno on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
You've heard the expression, like a moth to a flame. Well, a candle is one thing, but lit fuses, high explosives, and incendiary devices are something a little bit more lethal. But this is what attracts a man known by a very simple and very accurate nickname, Pyro Boy. The fire marshal says he's crazy, but that's not stopping him from walking a fiery gauntlet in a suit covered with explosives. No wonder people call him Pyro Boy. Meet Wally Glenn, a man with a passion for some of the world's most dangerous materials.
I was never afraid of fire as a kid.
Now that he's all grown up, Wally has combined his love for fire and explosives with his second love, performing.
I got into doing sketch comedy, and what I was really looking for was just different ways to work with different mediums of performing. And I stumbled into fire performing and found it would be a lot of a challenge and a lot of fun.
Somewhere, deep in the heart of Seattle, Wally and his crew work feverishly in their laboratory, which looks like something right out of a monster movie.
The actual location we like to keep a little bit quiet because we don't want people to know that it's there. But basically it's in a concrete reinforced building. What we're going to do is test out some of the pyrotechnics we plan on using, depending on our approval we get with the fire department. You have to make sure we have the right amount of powder in each one of these things. If suddenly something goes off the wrong time, could cause a chain reaction and cause a very serious accident.
But Wally can't stay holed up in his lab all the time. Even Dr. Frankenstein had a day job.
I work for an internet startup company in Seattle as a webmaster. I don't come to work with pyrotechnics strapped to my body. I just come to work dressed normally and work at it.
He may try to act like just another employee, but a third-degree burn on his neck is evidence of a most unusual hobby.
Wally is legendary for his, the Pyro Boy act. Everybody here knows about it, so while we do try to treat him like just another webmaster, word spread like wildfire on the first day that Wally had this obsession.
When they introduce a new employee, they'll bring them around, introduce them to everybody, and sort of like, this is Tracy, she's the online web producer. This is Gail, she's the online writer. This is Wally, he blows himself up.
Wally's goal is actually to entertain, not to get hurt.
Powerboy is extremely dangerous in general, but it can be done safely if you know exactly what you're doing. I just hope they see that what I do is a man pushing the human endurance level to a new height. I just hope that they're very amazed that, here's another human being trying to see what limits we can take ourselves to.
Here at Ripley's, Pyroboy and his team are working to ensure that his latest feat won't be his last. The day begins with a special delivery of Class B explosives. These dangerous pyrotechnic devices are available only with a special permit.
Is there any problems with the fire marshal at all?
He's not happy with your bigger stuff, but they sent everything you asked for and he okayed it.
Now begins the arduous task of attaching and connecting the pyrotechnics to Pyroboy's suit. The order and spacing are crucial.
Well, there's only so much space on that chest protector to put pyro. And if you put them too close together, obviously they're going to set one another off.
Once we had the helmet laid out, we attached the pyrotechnics to the chest and the back and the helmet. We then will go and fuse it using a fast fuse so they'll all light basically simultaneously. We have to take extra care to fix the fuses so that there's no chance of it burning. What we have to really be careful with those flaming rings is avoiding any chance that they'll catch. So even just a little flame flickering, if a little wind blew up, it could light the whole thing off, and if we're not ready for it, it would really be dangerous.
Wally is almost ready, but fire officials are getting increasingly nervous.
He's running through hoops of live fire, and he's got fireworks strapped to his head and his back. If any one of them happen to catch fire, he's liable to hurt himself. Very easily, he could be faced with burn injuries because of the heat that comes off of these things. He could be blinded by one of the projectiles that may come out of here and would hit him.
As a final precaution, Pyroboy and his crew test the pyrotechnics to see how close they can get to the flame before igniting.
As a test to see what would happen, we took one of the pyrotechnic pieces attached to a pole and did a simulated walkthrough of one of the rings to see what might happen. And unfortunately, we did set off one of the pyrotechnics.
Hey, how close was that when it went off? Close enough to set it off. That's not good.
The test has alarming results. The fuses light far more easily than expected.
Next, will Pyroboy go through with it? Find out when Ripley's returns.
Welcome back. Remember when you were a kid on the 4th of July? Fireworks were the best part. Well, for Wally Glenn, the 4th of July is right now. His lifelong obsession with fire has earned him the nickname Pyroboy. And now, Wally Glenn is facing his ultimate challenge. He will walk through rings of fire wearing a suit covered with explosive devices.
I'll put the chest protector on and I start getting really panicked. I want to make sure that the safety gear is all in place because if we rush and something gets pulled out of place, I could easily get a 2,000-degree flame burning a hole through my neck, and we really want to avoid that. When I put the helmet on, it's really dangerous. The fact that it's very confining, it's hard to get off easy, and if the pyrotechnics go off, you got to throw this thing off, which is essentially burning at 2,000 degrees.
Pyroboy is ready to go. It's time to face the fire.
You ready?
A hush falls over the crowd as he approaches the flames. Bursts of fire are coming dangerously close to the pyrotechnics. He's done it! Pyroboy has walked through unscathed. But the crowd is screaming for more. He decides on a whim to go a second time. He's determined to push himself to the limit.
Like we did catch a little flame. I think something might have sparked, just got a little bit hot, and a little spark started, caught, and then suddenly the next thing I know, I see blue balls bouncing in front of my face when I was bent over, and it's like, gosh, we're going off. okay, this is happening, and I can't stop it. There's no way you can say, oh, stop, let's not do this right now. You're completely committed, and you have to go for it.
I don't know how it happened. There must have been a spark that was just smoldering at the end of one of the fuses.
I was in there and dancing around and suddenly realized that my arm is on fire and I can't put it out. Wow, look at that. Oh my God. Very loud, even though I'm wearing a helmet with protection. I'm wearing earplugs. It's just, you can hear this screaming, the crackling. If you've ever held a firecracker too close to your ears, you understand what it's like. My ears are ringing after that.
You know, it's not hard to make Wally do something, even after the test, even after we knew that it was close, you know. He still went because he's a daredevil.
It's a great feeling. I was very happy to be fine. It was really, it was very great to know that essentially I was safe. I got a little singed, but I had a great time. The crowd had a great time, and it was all done safely, and that's the most important thing. Is that it wasn't a grim ending to this. It was a pretty happy ending. A lot of people think I'm crazy, but you gotta do something crazy to keep pushing ourselves.
Oh, great. And yes. Oh, that was good. Very hot. Wow.
We'll be right back. This Tibetan prayer bowl is not designed to hold little candies, but rather a cocktail of wine and human blood. It's really quite beautiful with all the silver work and everything, and apparently, according to ritual, this bowl comes in handy during a drought. You see, once this blood cocktail is mixed up, it gets poured on an altar, and hopefully soon thereafter, rain comes. Oh, one last thing. As beautiful as this artifact may look, the silver cannot hide one thing. It is made from a real human skull. Unbelievable? Believe it.
With the guts.
All right, let's do this.
Win the glory. Fear Factor. Back-to-back episodes. Tonight starting at 7. Only on Chiller. Scary Good.
Scare Tactics. Back-to-back episodes. Tomorrow starting at 7. Only on Chiller. Scary Good.